Good evening to our panelists. RSN Singh, defense analyst, Rakesh Sinha, RSS ideologue, Jiten Gajaria, the BJP leader whose tweet we put out this story, Suresh Nakhwa, social media activist, Zafar Sareshwala, Chancellor of the Maulana Azad National Urdu University, Tehseen Poonawala, Rajiv Rai and Dinesh Varshney. Good evening to all of you. To our viewers, get engaged on involve.in. The hashtag is Rahul Chinese Chakkar. And these are the questions we want your opinion on, along with what you think about what our panelists are saying on the Newshour tonight. These are the burning questions that arise over the developments. First question, can Rahul Gandhi, who criticized the Prime Minister's swing diplomacy, explain why he himself was partying with China's envoy? You remember that tweet that came shortly after we did the entire news break, questioned the Raga Chinese Chakkar, and then these tweets came out trying to mock the Prime Minister and trying to counter. Second question, does Rahul Gandhi have a right to criticize the Prime Minister about being soft on China when he himself is whining and dining with the Chinese envoy? The next question that we'd like your opinion on, and we'll ask the panelists too, should Rahul Gandhi explain what common interests, quote unquote, were discussed in the meet attended by his own controversial brother-in-law and the Chinese envoy? How many? The next question, how many such diplomatic engagements does Rahul Gandhi take his tainted, under question, under investigation brother-in-law Robert Vadra along for? Why did the Chinese government delete the picture and the original link from the English section of its website in India? Can the Congress party explain away private citizen Robert Vadra's presence at a formal meeting with the Chinese envoy? If common interests of perhaps sensitive nature were discussed with the Chinese envoy, did Rahul Gandhi brief the government? And when common interests were discussed, did Rahul Gandhi ask his brother-in-law Robert Vadra to leave the room? Should Robert Vadra be privy to sensitive diplomatic common interests? We are assuming that Rahul Gandhi has India's interests paramount, as he claims, between India and China. These are the questions, and we'll keep flashing them and we'll keep asking them. Engage with us, write to us, tweet to us, and tell us what you think. And let's see what our panelists on the Newshour tonight have to say about this entire episode. And we're asking these questions because of the caginess of the Congress party. Their spokespersons responded to the Bhakt channels and their chakkar. They're watching this broadcast, but they'll not come clean with the answers. They ate the humble pie then. We realized, we stood by our story. We stood by our story on the 10th of July, and they are the ones who had to come back and say, oh, this did happen. Let's go across to Jiten Gajaria. Jiten Gajaria, let's put out your tweet. It was not a retweet. You put out this picture and you asked a question. Why did you do that, sir? What made you do that?
Well, okay, let me do the... Yeah, to start this, let me first clarify that whatever I have put on my Twitter and whatever I say on the channel is as in capacity of a private citizen. First, when I received the picture, the first thing I checked out was, whether the picture is, fine or not, and whether it has come from a reliable source. And when it appeared reliable, I put it on, and I have asked a simple question. Because if I see Robert Vadra into a picture along with Rahul Gandhi and few powerful people, the first thing that comes to mind is land. Because we all know Mr. Robert Vadra is a big landowner.
So your tweet was speculative? Your tweet was speculative.
Farmers in this country. One of the most...
Your tweet was speculative? No, you're also a BJP leader. You have your leanings with the BJP, though your position...
My tweet was a question.
Your tweet was...
My tweet was a question, and that's why I said, my tweet was a question, right? Because I have said that because this was a very unusual mix. You have Chinese and envoys on one side, you have the vice president of the opposition party in this country, sorry, not an opposition party, there are only 44, sorry, but yeah, the Congress party, and then you have a private citizen
But you verified that this picture was a genuine one. You did not have doubts that this was photoshopped. Did you know that this was about a formal meeting on the 20th of April when you put out confirmation that the meeting did happen on the 8th of July? That gentleman right now has put out another tweet. He says, "What will the Bhakt channel say to the picture of Union Railway Minister Suresh Prabhu and Tarun Vijay at the food festival at Taj Hotel? Sir, they were there in official capacity. What do they have to say?" You are asking a question which you know the answer to already. RSN Singh, the questions we are asking tonight is not because we are making it, trivializing the matter. It's because we are taking it very, very seriously, sir. Because this is a Congress vice president. This is the person who wants to lead the party that has ruled this country directly or indirectly over the last 60 years of 70 years of our independence. This is a time when our equations with China are very sensitive. And it's a series of meetings that have happened, sir. And we are saying, what is the common interest that you share when we are in a position of standoff?
I think Mr. Rahul Gandhi owes it to the nation. And I expect this, him to give a statement in Parliament as to what transpired between him and the Chinese ambassador, and why did he, first conceal it, and then when confronted, then he owned up that yes, he did go there, and this happens at a time when sir, this standoff is taking place, and let me tell you, it is no ordinary standoff. I have written on this extensively. There is a objective that the Chinese have embarked upon. And that is, this objective is China, Chumbi, Chittagong. And, well, they have been vying for the Chittagong port and, slugging it out with the Indians and the Americans to establish a foothold. So, in the process, what they have done, Anand, is that all this upheaval that you see in Darjeeling Mamata was not wrong when she said that there is a Chinese hand behind this. I wrote about it much before. And one very senior politician, I'm telling you, he has been subverted in Sikkim because the Chinese feel that they only have to penetrate, 25 kilometers of the border. I'm not saying that it is going to happen tomorrow. But we have all seen the Chinese posturing and that incremental, belligerence in the case
Colonel
of
Singh,
South China.
Sir, the argument...
And at this time, visiting the Chinese embassy, I think it's very, very suspicious. And whether it is
sir, the argument is
Sri Lanka,
the argument is
the Chinese are increasingly.
The argument is ये तो 20 अप्रैल को हुआ था. The argument is ये 20 अप्रैल को हुआ था. उस वक्त तो ऐसा, so at that time the Doklam standoff had not happened.
Sir, I have seen how the Chinese have been bribing, politicians in Maldives, in Sri Lanka, at least 2 countries I am very aware of, and to an extent in Bangladesh. So therefore, there are many leverages, and there are many leverages, sitting on your channel also today. I mean, today you will see, their posturing. They will say nothing is wrong. He is free to go and meet anybody. Yeah, he is free. But come on, how come the Chinese ambassador has got guts to summon someone like Rahul Gandhi? So he needs to come clean on this whole issue.
Right. Sir, there is a point. And you know why we asked this question, sir? Because on the 10th, when the Congress party did that famous boo-boo of getting it wrong, the Chinese embassy immediately deleted the page. Why did they do it if they have nothing to hide? And that's why we are asking you what had happened here, because this picture is in private. You see the other picture.
These are scoundrels.
Sir,
scoundrels. I've seen them functioning.
Sir, there is a lot. See, social media is a dangerous place because there is a lot of news which can be, convoluted, which can be diluted, which can be wrong. But Suresh Nakhwa, social media is your space. Tell me, how is it that social media put this question and they are drawing some other parallels, which we don't give substance to? Tessin, I'll come to you. Now, sir, some of our people who are viewers, can the panelists explain what is the entitlement? I'll just come back to that. We're just firing it and we'll see if we can stay on it a bit. KR Prithviraj says, Raga has the uncanny knack of getting into some chakkar or the other, adept at scoring self-goals. Another one, he says, what is Rabo to Adra doing with the envoy? Congress taking help from Chinese to remove Modi. That's the question that's being asked. Is there a conspiracy being hatched? Can the panelists explain what the entitlement that the mango man of the Indian democracy has with a Chinese envoy? Manishankar Iyer asked Pakistan and it became an issue. So secret meeting with Chinese for help. These are what viewers right now engaging with us are saying. Yes, Suresh Nakhwa.
See, even if we accept Congress argument that this meeting happened way back on 20th April 2017. If you remember, on 28th April 2017, Dalian Wang Group, they scrapped a 10 billion FDI project which was to be invested in Haryana. Now this Dalian Wang,
no, but why was
the Dalian Wang being stopped?
What has that got to? We saw that article too. We said that social media is drawing these parallels, but what is that? Is there any concrete evidence that there was an influence? Is there any?
Otherwise, what was Mr. Vadra doing over there?
You can ask that question. You can ask that question.
Land holdings in Haryana.
You can ask that question.
You are stopping Dalian Wang to come in.
No, that is an allegation that you make, sir. That's an allegation that you make without substantial proof. That is something which I'm going to be very clear about. Tehseen Poonawalla, come into the debate. So you put your hand up and we'll go to our other panelists. Rakesh Sinha will also come in after this. Yes, Tehseen Poonawalla.
For the first time, I completely agree. Actually, second time, I completely agree with Colonel R.S.N. Singh. He's absolutely right in what he's saying. So, through your medium, I request Prime Minister Modi ji to immediately arrest Rahul Gandhi, Robert Vadra, Priyanka Gandhi, and shut down Taj Palace. Arrest Ratan Tata for allowing Taj Palace to have this food festival. I think it's very important. We all nationalists. We should let this happen.
Yeah.
Also,
and I'll say ho 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 ho. That was very funny. That was very funny, Tehseen Poonawalla. No, please tell me, sir. Please tell me, Tehseen Poonawalla, this is the same man. This is the same man. And for the record, I'm not the guy sitting on the swing with 1,000 Chinese troops had physically entered India. This is what Rahul Gandhi tweeted, sir. He tweeted on the 10th of July. Please tell me, on the 8th of July, did he not know what was happening in Doklam? What was he doing with the Chinese ambassador there? Tell me. Why was he so sheepish about it? Tell me.
Apart from
20th April, this picture is in private. Randeep Surjewalla's tweet. Can we put out those images of Suresh Prabhu, of Tarun Vijay? They're all standing at the official function. They're all standing at an official capacity, sir. They did not hide being there. They did not hide being there. Their pictures are available at common disposal. These pictures are not, sir. These pictures are available only on the Chinese handle. Tell me why. Not there on the Indian page.
Anand, so great question.
Yeah, look at this page. Look at this. Now, these are the BJP leaders. This is what Randeep Surjewala put out. This is what Randeep Surjewala put out. Are they there for the inauguration?
Why do you keep interrupting? Do you get excited when I talk and you keep interrupting me?
Sir, I get appalled. Sometimes I get appalled. At sometimes I want to laugh, but I don't want to laugh. At sometimes you're trying to sound funny, but you're trying, but it sounds silly. But I don't want to get into that, sir. I don't want to get into that, Mr. Poonawalla. I'm just trying to say, please look at these pictures and please look at the other pictures and tell me what is in public, what is in public, and what is in private. Oh, I didn't know that you like laughing at your own jokes. Maybe. Very, very good. I appreciate that. That's also a good quality to have. But look at these pictures. Rakesh Sinha, what do you make of this? Let's put both the pictures if we can. This is what Mr. Surjewala has tweeted of the BJP leaders and asked the question.
You'll interrupt me. Can I finish?
Suresh Prabhu there even speaking. He's addressing the gathering. He's there in official capacity. Union ministers, Prime Minister and others go in official capacity. Sir, what capacity was this happening? That's the question, Rakesh Sinha, that we are asking. What capacity was this happening? And this has been happening January, April, July. Once in 2 months meeting. What is this going on?
I am surprised that they are establishing...
On top of every quarter.
They are establishing equivalence between the Prime Minister and the Rahul Gandhi. We are at the critical juncture as far as India-China relationship is concerned. War is knocking at our door. In South Sea, China is asserting, and we are not in the mood to facilitate China that they do what they want to do. In Bhutan, they want to make Bhutan Tibet. And in such circumstances, if any party leader meets Chinese envoy, there is nothing wrong meeting. But the time and context is very important. Without the briefing of the External Affairs Ministry you are meeting, you know in diplomacy, words, your body language are very important.
Anand?
A single word can give a wrong message to Chinese envoy. Your body language can give the wrong message.
Yes,
and
Tehseen, respond to that.
China has.
I've got Mr. Rajiv Rai, Zafar Sareshwala joining us. We'll go
my question is: has this meeting arranged by Robert Vadra? I afraid that this meeting has been arranged by Robert Vadra. It was at his initiative the meeting was arranged. Is there any business link of Robert Vadra working between Rahul Gandhi and the Chinese envoy? These are the fundamental questions which should be answered. In diplomacy is not a family affair. You can't make it a family affair. Wife, son, daughter, brother-in-law, son-in-law, these are the part of any party, any cultural party, but not in diplomacy. In diplomacy, you have to make confidentiality. And Rahul Gandhi had met. He must have to communicate to the external.
Did he tweet about it on the 20th of July, Suresh Nakwa? Let me ask you, sir. He watches the story. See, sir, he's got his leanings. Mr. Suresh Nakwa has his leanings just like Jiten Gagaria to the BJP. They watch the Congress handles of the Congress leaders like a hawk. Please tell me, on the 20th of July or the 21st, did Rahul Gandhi put this picture out?
No, Rahul Gandhi didn't put this picture out. On 20th
Has he ever put out one single picture of meeting with the Chinese envoy?
No. I would like.
Yes, Jiten.
Anand, I would like to just come in and ask a very simple question. I will ask.
Sonal Singh, coming to you after this, sir.
Yeah. You know what? If I mean even earlier, can I? Yeah. Okay. Earlier when Mr. Rahul Gandhi, when your channel put up the news of Rahul Gandhi meeting the envoys, and there was a lot of talk about that. One basic question. For all these meetings, why does Rahul Gandhi have to take someone like Robert Vadra? Why not the leader of party in Lok Sabha, Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge? Why not a senior leader from the Congress like ex-Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh? Why is Rahul Gandhi doing these meetings in secrecy? Why no senior Congress leader
Tehseen Poonawala
responsible to the Parliament in Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha a part of these meetings?
Praveen Singh Kati on involve.in is telling you, Tehseen Poonawala, Mr. Vadra is there because he's taking inspiration from China, as both are land mafias.
Okay.
I'm afraid, I'm amazed, another one, I'm amazed by the tantrum that leaders of the Congress and their spokesperson throw around what they are not accountable. Yes, Tehseen Poonawala. This is viewer feedback. Please don't quote me on this, I'm quoting the viewer. Okay. Yeah, go ahead please.
I'm not quoting you, but I'd hope that you don't interrupt me for exactly 2 minutes. So point number 1, answering the Robert Vadra question, I'm glad that Rahul Gandhi took Robert Vadra along, because according to you and to all your panelists, Robert Vadra is an expert in land deals. So perhaps he's the only one who can bring land back from China, because the Prime Minister is only on the Jula with the Chinese President and Prime Minister.
Again, you trivialize a very serious debate.
Point number 2,
now you hear that RSN Singh, this is the attitude with which they are striking.
It makes two of us.
So he says so you admit that there was a deal being struck. You admit there was a deal being struck. What was the deal that was being struck? You admit there was a deal being struck? You admit there was some business involved?
The blunder of Rahul Gandhi. Deliberate blunder by Rahul Gandhi.
What food to eat at Taj Palace?
RSN Singh.
I admit there was.
What is the standing of Robert Vadra in Indian politics? What is the standing of Robert Vadra in Indian National Congress?
That's the question. That's the question that we are asking. What was cooking over that meal?
How much diplomacy he knows? He is simply a businessman. There are many allegations of corruption on Robert Vadra. Is his business interest being protected by Rahul Gandhi by meeting Chinese envoy?
To Ratan Tata and Taj Palace.
Yeah, we'll ask that question to everybody, but Rahul Gandhi should never be asked
has to answer, because nation is at a critical juncture with China.
Festivals?
War is knocking.
Shut down Taj Palace. Why does it allow?
You tell me one thing, Tehseen Poonawala. Rahul Gandhi tweets about every single engagement of his, but not one tweet about his meetings. Not one tweet about his meetings, sir. The suspicion arises. RSN Singh, the suspicion arises, sir.
Rahul Gandhi.
Before I go to Rajiv Rai, Dinesh Vashni and Zafar Sareshwala.
I'll tell him.
I'll tell him.
RSN Singh, yes sir, RSN Singh, sir, the suspicion arises because that day the Chinese embassy took their post down. The moment Randeep Singh Surjewala put out that the meeting did not happen and it's fake news, the Chinese embassy put their post down from the Indian web page, the English handle. Why did they do that? That's what makes us ask these questions. What's been happening? What's cooking? Yes.
I have a question for you.
Yes, RSN Singh.
Anand, I have a question for you.
Yes, RSN Singh.
Just 1 minute.
When Surjewala?
Anand,
No, one question.
When I was writing,
Let RSN Singh speak. Then I'll come to you, sir.
Anand,
one question.
Anand, when I was writing my book, the unmaking of Nepal, I toured extensively, through the country, and I met anybody and everybody, right from the top man to every leader in Nepal. When I came back, the first thing I did is that I prepared a note and I submitted it to the Ministry of External Affairs. They called me, had a talk with me, because ultimately, look, I mean, we are all contributing to the nation. This we owe to this nation. Similarly, when I was writing my book on Pakistan, I met at least 80 Pakistanis of different vocations. And again, I did the same thing. I prepared a detailed note as to what discussions I had with whom, and I gave it to the government. So therefore, Mr. Rahul Gandhi is owes it to the nation. He must either submit a written report to the Ministry of External Affairs as to what transpired between him and the ambassador. That's all I'm saying. Am I wrong in saying this? And I would suggest this to every Indian, every journalist.
I want to reply to that.
If you interact with somebody,
Tehseen, answer that before I go to Dr. Vashni, Rajiv Rai and Zafar Sareshwala. Thank you for your patience, gentlemen. After Tehseen answers this, coming to you straight up. Yes.
Exactly 45 seconds. I completely agree with Colonel Singh that Rahul Gandhi should write down a report to the Minister of External Affairs. What food did he eat at Taj Palace? And I want to ask you, Anand, why do you get so offended when they call random people bucks? Is it a question of guilty conscience that you get so offended, Anand?
Not at all. No, sir, we are enjoying the fact because every time, sir, वो गलत लोग से पंगे लेते हैं सर. मैं आपको बोल रहा हूँ, एक बार जो मैं बोलता दूध का जला जो है छाछ फूंक कर पीता है. ये कहावत है और ये रणदीप सुरजेवाला जी अच्छी तरह भली भांति जानते हैं. 10 जुलाई को क्या हुआ वो भी जानते हैं, हम भी जानते हैं. आज हम 10 दिन बाद यहाँ बैठे हैं, फिर देखेंगे क्या होता है.
अच्छा तो आप इतने offend होते हैं.
अरे sir, well tried, but it's not working. Tehseen, the person who is offended and who is sulking on the Newshour tonight is sitting with a beige color band gala and putting his thumbs up right now. That's the person. That's the person who's looking a little offended and sulking on the Newshour tonight. I am not. Tehseen Purawala. There you go. There you cheer up a little now. Rajiv Rai, Dinesh Vashni and Zafar Sareshwala. Sir, what is happening? One of the burning questions that we've put out here is the fact that should he be privy to what is sensitive, perhaps sensitive information, a formal occasion where you have somebody as responsible as the Congress Vice President, we would like to believe, of that position, as one of the key leaders of the opposition who has the interests of this country and the tricolour in mind, as he has himself said in the past. Should he be privy to an engagement with a Chinese envoy? And what was happening? Why was this entire thing, if it was such a social affair, kept a secret? And why is there a caginess about it? Which makes us ask these questions, Rajiv Rai.
Anand, in my personal opinion, if it was just a social gathering, I don't think you should make a big fuss out of this. However, at the stature of Rajiv Gandhi, at this point of time, personally, I feel it could have been avoided.
No, sir, please.
The tension on the border. And the tension on the border, it was not so necessary that even if there is a social invitation for food festival or anything, you must attend with your family members. Not necessary. Politely could have been ignored and turned down. This is my personal opinion.
How do these
having said so, there cannot be. Allow me. Having said so, there cannot be more disgusting, heartening, and painful scene than we saw when Chinese president was here in Indian land और प्राइम मिनिस्टर झूला झूला रहे थे और इंडियन चाइनीज आर्मी हमारे देश
तो एक बात बताइए जो व्यक्ति ये ट्वीट करता है कि प्राइम मिनिस्टर झूला झूल रहे थे वो व्यक्ति यहाँ बैठ के क्या कर रहा था सर?
राजीव जी क्या करते, उसे पिटाई करते क्या?
नहीं यहाँ बैठ के क्या कर रहा था वो व्यक्ति?
कोई आपका गेस्ट आता है तो उसका स्वागत नहीं करेंगे क्या?
नहीं देश का प्रधानमंत्री उसके काउंटर पार्ट के साथ डिप्लोमेटिकली एक इक्वेशन सेट करने की कोशिश करे तो वहां आपको आपत्ति है, लेकिन ये कौन व्यक्ति है और ये क्या कर रहे थे सर? ये कौन व्यक्ति है और ये क्या कर रहे थे? ये कौन व्यक्ति है और ये क्या कर रहे थे?
President could have guts to come on our land and same time allow their troop to get into our land. That much here, that much of this message could have been sent there.
Correct. तो इतना खून खोल रहा है तो आप पूछिए ना राहुल गांधी से, since he's got such a great equation with the Chinese envoy, what has he said? What is the position that he has taken?
Government of India.
What is the position as Rahul Gandhi as a responsible leader of the opposition, and of course
that is a different matter. But when the leader
of the Congress party,
leader of opposition goes to meet, that is a fundamental question. Without he is part of diplomacy as long as he is in touch with the government of India. Rahul Gandhi is not in touch with the government of India. We have seen his immaturity in domestic politics, but we can't tolerate his immaturity in the international politics. He is becoming liability. We knew.
Go ahead.
You don't know that WikiLeaks, what he did he say? The WikiLeaks, he said that Hindu terrorism is far bigger danger than the jihadi terrorism. This is same Rahul Gandhi meeting the Chinese envoy. Rajiv, kindly don't.
अरे ये आप बताइए यहाँ कौन सा मांचूरियन सूप बन रहा था, मुझे बताइए ना कौन सा मांचूरियन सूप बता रहे थे? ये क्यों नहीं पूछते हैं आप? क्या हो रहा था यहाँ? अरे हर क्वार्टर के हर टॉप 20वें दिन पे ये मीटिंग हो रही है, क्यों हो रही है ये मीटिंग? और जब एंड प्लीज when you can draw these parallels, sir, why aren't you asking, has there been an impact of these meetings? What is the net outcome of these meetings? What is the productivity of these meetings? Why is it that there is a sudden turn? Why don't you ask these questions of Rahul Gandhi also?
They are handling the diplomacy. We are not handling the diplomacy. We can give input to the government of India. We can take input from the
Zafar Sareshwala and then Dinesh Washni.
Rahul Gandhi is not the Prime Minister of this country. Narendra Modi is the Prime Minister of this country. Rahul Gandhi can't act as the Prime Minister.
Where you go for a social gathering?
Rahul Gandhi has been becoming a liability to the national politics. Now he is becoming a liability to our diplomacy.
I mean, that will be judged by that will be judged. Anybody who will oppose you is an international. Professor Rakesh Sinha, anybody who will oppose you is an international.
You tell me, why is it Rajiv Rai? Why is it Rajiv Rai when you have these doubts out of when you can raise an objection, like this, why don't you ask questions to the other side also?
You are reducing the diplomacy to the level of family affairs.
You go through the history in
you don't know the sensitivity between the India-China relationship.
Zafar Sareshwala.
Global Times is warning India again and again. Instead of responding to Global Times, he is responding to the Chinese envoy.
Who is nationalist, who is not nationalist?
Sir,
certainly not from RSS. Certainly not from RSS.
Sir, समझा कीजिए, यूपी के लड़के हैं, साझा तो रहेगा ही. यूपी के लड़के हैं, साझा तो रहेगा ही. Rajiv Rai has to take a position. Rajiv Rai has taken a position which ties in with the Gathbandhan. So we have to give him that leeway, sir. We have to give that leeway to Mr. Rajiv Rai. But Zafar Sareshwala, please come into the debate. I thank you for your patience along with Dr. Washni. Now the two of you, gentlemen, your points of view here. This Rahul Chinese chakkar has taken a very serious twist, sir, and the questions that we are asking are not trivial, not frivolous. They are very serious questions asked of the Congress Vice President. Zafar Sareshwala.
Yes, Anand, actually this whole episode is not, I mean, it doesn't need to be, I mean, it's very appalling that it is being trivialized. It raises more questions than answers. First of all, Congress party is denying, then they said yes, then Mr. Gandhi says no, I have the right to meet. Yes, absolutely. Mr. Rahul Gandhi is all his right to meet the Chinese ambassador. But you know, we have something in this country that any leader or any chief minister of a state, if he or she wants to meet head of a state who visits or ambassador of a country wants to visit, it has to go through the diplomatic channel, that is the Ministry of external affairs. Now you have to understand, Rahul Gandhi is not an ordinary citizen.
Yes.
I mean, he is not a civilian. He is vice president of a principal party of the country. Tomorrow he is going to be the president. Now he has to supplement the efforts of the Prime Minister and the government in achieving what we have. I mean, we have a very dangerous standoff with the Chinese, which we had not seen in last 50, 60 years. Now, in such a situation, be silent and quiet about such an important thing. And now when the photograph has come in public domain, you are coming out.
Look what our viewers are saying.
Clean right at the
as I go to Dr. Vashni.
Around 10th of July.
Dr. Vashni, as you rebut this, these are what some of our viewers are writing in right now on involve.in. They're watching the broadcast and responding to our panelists. Rajiv Rai, see, my prediction was right. This is what Nagraj, one of our viewers who's engaging, saying. Mr. Rai will not question Rahul Gandhi. They will only rant. No use of talking with them. Congress questions Modi's visit to Nawaz with full knowledge of national. But Rahul Gandhi tries to, for the entire nation, full knowledge of the nation. But Rahul Gandhi tries to meet the Chinese envoy secretly. Why? Questioned by Rajendra Sharma. Then Venkat says, Rahul Gandhi should have gone to Pakistan or Syria or to the middle of the Pacific Ocean. What has Rahul Gandhi achieved anything so far for India? Is Rahul Gandhi an opportunist? Is he trying to play down a parallel government against the mandate of the people? Is somebody called Anonymous, a regular viewer here who's writing in? Indian from Dubai says, if government of India and Indian courts can't put traitors behind bars, what can we do? Srinivas Duvuri says, why? If funding requirements for elections 2019 was discussed, we want to know. Look at the questions that are arising in the minds of the viewers as they watch this broadcast. Dinesh Vashni. Sir.
Look, Rahul, look, Anand, let me tell you one thing.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Anand, let me tell you one thing.
I hope you're watching our monitors as our viewers are asking these questions. They say, उनको पता नहीं कि potato factory में बनती है कि खेतों में उगता है. ये क्या China से क्या common interest की बात कर रहे थे? That's one more viewer who wrote just now. Yes, Dr. Vashni.
Throughout the world, every diplomatic mission discussed the situation of the one or the other country or the world to the leaders of the government as well as leaders of the opposition and other political parties. It is allowed even in Geneva Convention. Jafar Sureshwala, for I don't know from where have you got this idea that every Indian whosoever meet any diplomat has to take the permission and route it through the Ministry of External Affairs.
No. Listen to me. I didn't say about any Indian. I said about leader of a political party. Please don't misquote me. I have not said about any Indian. Rahul Gandhi ji is the vice president of the principal opposition party. Don't misquote.
Thousands of the time, the BJP and Jansang and RSS leaders must have met the Chinese envoy and other envoys and other foreign diplomatic mission holders.
अगर मिले तो फिर डंके की चोट पे मिले सर. Sir, छुप के नहीं मिले. The question is the caginess, Dr. Vashni. Dr. Vashni, the question is please understand this.
Don't create atmosphere of war.
Please appreciate this. RSN Singh, please come back into the debate. And Suresh Rakho coming to you after that. RSN Singh, please come back into this. Is what we are questioning, sir. The caginess.
Anand.
Yes, sir.
Anand, I'd like to respond to Mr. Vashni.
I would like your panelists to
Anand, you don't allow me to complete my view.
Anand, I would like your panelists to reflect upon.
RSN Singh, another 30 seconds to Dr. Vashni and then you rebut him, sir. Another 30 seconds to Dr. Vashni and then you rebut him.
6 minutes. And you are not allowing me to speak completely.
Sir, now you are speaking.
This is absolutely wrong. Better in future you don't invite.
You are only speaking, Dr. Vashni. I am saying please make your point complete and then RSN Singh will respond.
Second thing is, every foreign diplomat, every Indian politician have met one or the other diplomats in the nation since independence whether belonging to Congress,
have they lied about it?
Jansang,
Have they lied about it? Have they been sheepish about it? Dr. Washing, my question, sir, is the same. My question remains the same. Why the caginess? Why the apprehension in being public about it? Why is it that none of these meetings are highlighted by Rahul Gandhi if he is trying to create his profile diplomatically and politically with the fraternity, trying to build himself up as a strong candidate to challenge Narendra Modi for 2019? He should be splashing it all on his office of RG. It should have seen. Sir, I don't have a tweet about the picture or meeting in January. There is no tweet about the picture in April. In fact, it's taken down from the Chinese website too. RSN Singh, nothing to mention about what happened on the 8th of July. It is all confusion or caginess. I don't know, sir.
Gandhi or any political leader who meet the foreign diplomat is nothing wrong.
Anand, I agree with Dr. Vashni, but
if I may tell your panelists,
yes, RSN Singh, sir, you too.
Useless debate here, making a useless debate here.
Anand, if I may tell your panelists. Now imagine a situation.
People who conspire behind their backs and then get caught regularly, it happens, sir. You will see, it will seem useless. RSN Singh, sir, go ahead, yes, sir.
Their chief ministers say that. Imagine a situation if all, chief ministers of all bordering states with China or other countries, they say that we have a direct stake with China, so we will, indulge in interlocution at our own level. It doesn't happen. What happens if the chief minister of Sikkim starts talking directly to the, to the Chinese, or say the chief minister of Uttarakhand or the chief minister of Himachal or JNK? I'm talking about the bordering states. Same is the case with Pakistan. If Punjab starts talking, or therefore to say that it is very usual for a representative of a political party to walk into an embassy. No, sir, it doesn't happen. You may consult any diplomat. And Mr. Rajiv Rai, I'm sorry to say, my problem is of subversion. What we have been witnessing is that politicians are increasingly reaching out to foreign powers like Pakistan and China to influence politics in this country. And this is not a new phenomenon, it has been happening for very long.
Yes.
But earlier when it used to happen, Rajiv Rai, I could, India was a country of shortages. But now if somebody, indulges, goes to an American embassy, says something, about Hindu terror, somebody goes to a Chinese embassy, say, why don't you do something, you can only, you are our only salvation under the circumstances. Internally, we can't do anything. If you indulge in these kind of things, this is my worry, sir, and this is nothing new. लोग हिंदुस्तान में बिकते रहे हैं और बड़े सस्ते दामों में बिकते रहे हैं. मैं आपको बता दूं, और नेता तो बहुत सस्ते दामों में बिकता है. सर,
एक चीज
मैं आपको अपने एक्सपीरियंस से बता रहा हूं. ये
एक चीज
मेरा वरी है सर, मेरा वरी है कि कितने लोग बिक रहे हैं यहाँ पर. अगर मणिशंकर अय्यर, if he goes to Pakistan and he says that please help us in dislodging a particular government. If Mufti Muhammad Saeed, he says he thanks Pakistan for conduct of peaceful elections, ये कौन लोग हैं sir? They're all, ये सारे बिके हुए लोग हैं. आपको दिख नहीं रहा है ये? If Mehbooba Mufti, after an attack on children's school, says that there should be talks,
will I be allowed to?
Who are these people?
Yes, Rajiv Rai.
Who are these Hurriyat people who are meeting this? ये सब बिके हुए लोग हैं.
और इनसे जाके गले कौन मिल रहे हैं? इनसे जाके गले वो लोग मिल रहे हैं जो अभी कांग्रेस की कम्युनिकेशन स्ट्रेटेजी टीम के अभिन्न अंग हैं सर. Congress ki, despite all the language that they have used and the deeds they have done, they are integral part of the Congress communication strategy now.
Allow me.
Yes, Rajiv Rai, and after that Suresh Nakwa.
I will not take more than 30 seconds.
Yes.
Mr. Singh, you missed my 2 points. My initial opening, I said, at this point of time, in my personal opinion, Rahul Gandhi could have avoided and turned down the invitation. Number 2, I said at the end of my thing, if government of India has got any iota of doubt or any kind of information that some illegal or some deal took place or something privy to the anything which is not in the interest of the nation, investigation should be done, and if it is found to be true, punishment should be given. These
Sir,
2 points revert
sir,
all your,
please look at, sir, our viewers, as I go across to Suresh Nakua, I'm very clear, sir, we also, along with our panelists, we consider the opinion of our viewers very seriously.
Don't forget when Salman Khurshid and Atal Bihari Vajpayee were part of the same Indian team.
RSN Singh, see this. See what one person has asked. He's asking about this straightforward question. Arun Mehra is asking on Twitter right now, using the hashtag Rahul Chinese Chakkar. He says, Rahul Gandhi lying about the meeting with the Chinese is expected. That's his opinion. But he says, more importantly, why did the Chinese remove the report from its website? Sir, twice this happened, sir. Twice this happened. See, there is no smoke without fire. You might say, what are the questions that we are asking about? What we are asking right now, Suresh Nakua, is April 20 तारीख का चाइनीज वेबसाइट इंग्लिश में नहीं था 8 जुलाई को जो मीटिंग हुई उसके बारे में उन्होंने पोस्ट किया आफ्टर क्यों रणदीप सुरजेवाला ने बोला कि मीटिंग नहीं हुई तो उन्होंने हटा दिया क्यों हटाया
I have another take on this. मणिशंकर अय्यर पाकिस्तान जाते हैं कहते हैं इनको हटाइए हमें ले आइए उसके बाद राहुल जी चाइनीज एम्बेसी जाते हैं रिसेंटली ऑन 14th of July Congress leader along with Chinese Party of India CPI, they went to North Korean embassy. This has nowhere been reported by media. Some Congress leader has gone to North Korean embassy. Now, can Tehsin tell what were they doing in North Korean embassy? And there's one more sequence of events. On 7th July, Saifuddin Soz says he would have loved to see Burhan Wani alive. On 8th, Rahul Gandhi goes to Chinese embassy. On 10th, on 9th, China says third country can enter through Pakistan.
Okay.
And on 11th, there's an attack on
like I said, ये कुछ भी कहें ये यहाँ देखते हैं सर हम लोग क्या पूछते हैं सवाल
So Anand,
sir the answer Tehsin Poonawalla, there is a Congress response coming and Samia Kapoor, our Congress correspondent, has just put this out. I'm reading it out. It's just coming through. It's news that's just coming through, and this is what the Congress sources after watching the debate and the questions that we have put out. The burning questions are flashing right through the Newshour, sir, and we are asking very direct questions of the Congress party and the Congress vice president. They are saying, what's the harm in having private citizens present at Chinese food festival back on the 20th of April? Back then, there was no issue between China and India. Gandhis have had a long-standing relationship with diplomatic representative of neighboring countries. They were just honoring the invitation. Unfair to blow the formal dinner out of proportion at a time when there is complete foreign policy failure of the present government. There was no meeting as such that took place. Why not ask Suresh Prabhu, who inaugurated the Chinese food festival? Why BJP is not asked the question, why was a cabinet minister inaugurating the food festival? Don't we still have diplomatic ties with China? This is the response. Now, how would you counter this response, Rakesh Sinha?
Okay, now can I come in?
One sec, Tehsin. Yes, Rakesh Sinha. Because the question is being asked from the other side, so let them respond, and then Tehsin, I'll come to you. Tehsin, I'll come to you. Yes, Rakesh Sinha.
Anand, any government ministers do the routine job. We are at the brink of war. We are not in war. We have not entered into war. So let the minister do the routine business. My fundamental question is that you don't understand that Chinese lobbying in India has crossed. It is accumulated of CIA, KGB and Mossad lobbying in India. You know, they have lobbying among intelligentsia, among academia, among media, and also politicians. Now what they are doing? They are taking advantage of our fragmented politics. They know there is a polarization in politics. The anti-Modism is at its peak, and they are closely watching this.
Sir, this is a question that's been asked.
They are utilizing
you please tell me, sir. Suddenly, Robert Wada is a private citizen.
Domestic politics with
private
diplomacy.
Citizen.
What Rahul Gandhi is doing?
Sir.
Yes, Rahul Wada is a private citizen.
There was
no role of Robert
it's my job.
Rahul Gandhi could have with Manmohan Singh or Anand Sharma.
Sir, ये कांग्रेस ये sources नहीं है, official statement है जिसको sources की तरह इसको भी officially नहीं डालेंगे. They will not put it out officially. Zafar Sareshwala, you see this. They will not put this out officially. इसको भी sources करके बताएंगे उनका opinion. They will not put it out officially क्योंकि officially डालेंगे then they will contradict Rahul Gandhi.
Chinese Gandhi.
It was a social engagement बोला उधर. यहाँ बोला social engagement, private citizen है तो क्या फर्क पड़ता है? That's what Congress sources are telling Samia Kapoor and she's putting it out here and I'm reading it out here on the Newshour. And Rahul Gandhi says I have the right to be informed on critical issues. I met the Chinese ambassador, ex-NSA, Congress leaders from Northeast and also the Bhutanese ambassador. That's what he put on the 10th of July as clarification. Critical issues या social engagement. Decide करो यार.
Anand, can I speak?
Anand, there is no harm. As I said, there is no harm in Rahul Gandhi meeting the Chinese ambassador. But what I am saying is that his efforts should complement and be supportive of what the government is doing. I mean, you may have any fragmented polity. You may have hundreds of differences with the government. But at least in this hour, where you have such a severe standoff with China, at least you should be one in public domain. And why would, I mean, my problem is that why did Rahul Gandhi not say on 8th of July and why did he not release this photograph? We have no problem with that.
If
but
you put up the paper,
the hiding,
I can't see anything. Tessin, your feed is all garbled. Your feed is all garbled.
Okay.
Right now.
So now I'll quickly...
If you put up that paper, the feed is going to get garbled. Please understand that. Please put that paper down. See, that's what's happening. Now, let's do one thing. We are very fair, sir. Please, to all our panelists and to our viewers, let's put out the pictures that Mr. Randeep Singh Surjewala put out about Suresh Prabhu and of the other BJP leader present there, Tarun Vijay. Now, these are the pictures. Now, look at these pictures. Look at these pictures. Look at these pictures. And look at the other pictures. Look at the other picture of Rahul Gandhi, Robert Vadra, Sonia, Priyanka Gandhi and with the Chinese ambassador. Now look at these pictures. Sir, आपको फर्क दिख रहा है pictures में? ये private, intimate position है जहाँ पे it is personal, it is there in a closed door area away from the thing. The other part of Suresh Prabhu standing on the podium addressing the gathering. It's a public area. Look at the number of people flanking Tarun Vijay and Suresh Prabhu. They are there in their official capacity. They are there in their official capacity. There is no denying this. Look at that. They are writing the inaugural lamp for this food festival. After that, they are standing for a group photograph. Suresh Prabhu, as the railways minister or a union minister in that capacity, is standing on the dais. They are not hiding this. Mr. Randeep Singh Surjewala found this picture as easily as any of us could have found it. But please tell me the link for Rahul Gandhi and that picture, the other picture, sir, was not available on the Indian website of the Chinese embassy. It is there only on the Chinese feed. And we had to translate what was written there. That's how secretive it was. So you tell me, sir, who should we ask the questions? Tehseen Poonawalla.
Okay. Okay, now I will speak 1 minute uninterrupted. So since you finished a long monologue, quickly, I agree with Rakesh Sinha that the Chinese have completely infiltrated us. Therefore, you have Adani ji who goes with Modi everywhere to protect Modi. I also agree that Rahul Gandhi should have sent a report, but Sushma Swaraj is too busy playing Twitter. He could
have put out a post on Twitter and Sushma Swaraj would have acknowledged it. If she believes she's so busy on Twitter, if she can acknowledge the POK citizen who needs medical aid, she can acknowledge the Congress Vice President saying, I met the Chinese ambassador and these are the points I would like to raise and let's meet. And Sushma Swaraj would have responded since you took the Twitter jibe. My point is, you know, sir, I am not saying anything today. I'm just going to read out as I wind up the news tonight what people feel about Tehseen.
Third point.
Sir, I have a viewer called Anshul who has written a very important. He's given a strong feedback for you.
Just one thing about the link.
He has said.
One thing about the link. Can I say something about the link?
He has said that you should perhaps think about stand-up comedy, Tehseen Poonawalla, because that's how funny you are when you sometimes make these remarks. It's not personal, sir.
And you can join me.
It's not personal, sir. It's not personal, sir. It's feedback from the viewer. I am taking the name of the viewer on involved.in. That's what they have written. Because everything you say is a joke, and you are really funny. Because that's the thing, Tehseen Poonawalla. I don't want to troll you any further. Thank you very much.
Modi ji said you should have a sense of humor.
Yeah, absolutely. But this meeting is no joke, sir. This meeting and this picture is no joke, and the caginess is no joke either. The caginess is no joke either. Wherever they could, if it was in the interest of the country, Mr. Rahul Gandhi should let the people know what was discussed. And if these quarterly meetings have a bearing on what's happening with China today, that's a serious question. And that's also something which Mr. Rahul Gandhi must explain.